Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time again. Of course it is. I read the Daily Mail, so you don't have to. I think I'm going to keep that. I think I'm going to keep that as a tagline. Well, I think this story broke yesterday, and it was a bit late for me to cover it. It broke just after I finished doing coffee time. But this is a shocking, appalling story of a fellow called is it Donald Burgess. He was 93. I'm just going to add that was, and that's kind of important. Let's have a look. And this is the old chap here. He was in a wheelchair. He had one leg, and he lived at a retirement, complex, I guess you'd call it, in St Leonard's on Sea. It was a care home. St Leonard's on Sea in East Sussex, and police were called on the 21st of June to reports of Mr Burgess, a wheelchair-bound elderly man threatening staff with a knife. Again, we don't know if he was suffering from dementia. Sometimes people with dementia can get aggressive and violent, and they can be dangerous to themselves and to other people. So I understand why the care home may have called the police, because these things happen. But yeah, two officers arrived and they found him holding a knife, and yep, it turned out he had advanced dementia. And now these guys, I'd imagine they'd be wearing stab-proof vests and be burly folks. They pepper sprayed him. They hit him with batons, and then they tasered him. So yeah, he was obviously disarmed, and they handcuffed him. He was then taken to hospital for treatment, and he died 3 weeks later on July the 13th. And the IOPC, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, have now got an inquiry, because the two officers will be charged for manslaughter. It's absolutely disgusting. They could have talked him down. He was in a wheelchair, one-legged 93-year-old man in a wheelchair. His life was ended prematurely because of the, aggressive negligence of the police force. And this is what we're seeing now. They're morons. We employ morons. And very, very sad case. It's utterly, utterly annoying. And again, anyone who's got someone in their life suffering from dementia, or any mental illness for that matter, who knows, you may be one phone call away from having them, murdered by the police, because that's what happened. Forget manslaughter. And this was weird. Oh God! Last night, I've got to pull up Twitter for this. I've been going on about how I think the world's gone mad. The world's gone mad. Have I told you how the world's gone mad? Well, for many years I've admired the work of Amnesty International. They're an organisation that's helped people around the world who are suffering miscarriages of justice, oppressive regimes and whatnot. And then yesterday, Amnesty International tweeted this mind-boggling tweet. Ukrainian forces have put civilians in harm's way by establishing bases and operating weapon systems in populated residential areas. And they go on, and they say such tactics violate international humanitarian law and endanger civilians as they turn civilian objects into military targets. Now, I don't know what fucking planet they've been living on or what they've been taking, but I'm sure it was Russia who started bombing civilian areas first. And that's why the Ukraine forces were put in those areas to defend the people. Again, and President Volodymyr Zelensky has lashed out Amnesty. He's probably as gobsmacked as I am. he said that there is no condition, even hypothetically, under which any Russian strike on Ukraine becomes justified. Aggression against our state is unprovoked, invasive and terrorist. If someone makes a report in which the victim and the aggressor are supposedly equal in some way, this cannot be tolerated. Absolutely. And Ukraine's foreign minister, Dmitry Kuleba, says this behaviour by Amnesty International is not about finding and reporting the truth. It's about creating false equivalence. Indeed. Between the offender and the victim. I mean, frankly, I was shocked, and oh boy, what can you say? It's absolutely bonkers. Meanwhile, Putin is considering turning to Kim Jong-un for help with the Ukraine, offering them energy and grain in return for 100,000 soldiers, Russian reports claim. Oh God. It's like, but have you seen the price alert pack? That's the important thing here. It's absolutely bonkers. And of course the fallout of yesterday's rise in interest rates. They're talking now about the rise in the mortgage. Again, if you're not on a fixed rate, I mean we are, and I think it ends next year, and it's going to jump up. It's probably going to jump up by about, 30, 40 quid. Again, that's another thing we can't afford. Because the economy is tanked, and this is largely to do with a reaction to the COVID situation, because economies were shut down worldwide for 2 years. That was sensible, wasn't it? Now you're reaping what you've sown, and what's gone on in the Ukraine, that's causing the adverse cost of grain and fuel supplies. So I'm sure everything will be fine. But the Bank of England is backs up saying, don't blame us. Don't blame us for the recession. I heard one commentator on the radio moaning about, well, where's Boris Johnson? Where's same commentator that wanted Boris Johnson out is now moaning that Boris Johnson's away on his honeymoon. You got rid of him. He's gone. Where is he? Why isn't he dealing with this? You wanted him gone. He's gone. Come back in on the 5th of September when normal services resume. This is why you don't do these things, because we're in a state of political and economic upheaval at the moment, and that the ripples of the COVID period will be felt for many years. We know this. But again, the political pundits and the people on the left and wherever who don't like the people on the right want to destabilise everything, and for what? They don't have any solutions. We're going to be in political and economic turmoil, and it will continue until, this is like going into a war, the COVID thing, and we need some sort of equilibrium. Even though we don't agree with each other, there has to be some sort of consensus to get us through this. If you keep tipping the boat up, we're going to sink, and that's what's happening here. Again, I'm not making excuses for the Conservatives. I just think there needs to be some sort of truce while we get everything sorted out and we can get back to some sort of normality. We're not there yet, nowhere near it. And again, we don't hear any political answers from left or right of what they're going to do about any of this. They're too busy vying for power. And it's absolutely bonkers. Oh, dog cam. There is a dog asleep snoring in the dog cam. There we go. Just thought you'd like to know. Where are we? Have we got any good ones? Scientists are wondering why the Earth's spinning faster than usual. I don't know if you've noticed it. This is why the days are flying by so fast. Scientists say that climate change, seismic activity and the Chandler Wobble, watch too much Friends I reckon, could be all to blame for a 1.59 millisecond being shaved off the planet's shortest ever day in June. Did you notice that? No, okay. Now I know we do animal stories, but we're gonna this. I don't know if this counts. Is this an animal story? It kind of is, but this is fight footage of an owner who's turned up to a kennels, Daisy Bank boarding kennels at Hild Green in Cheshire. and wasn't happy in which with the conditions in which her dogs were being kept. She'd left 2 dogs there, and just wasn't happy with it. And there was a violent altercation. Yeah, the business claimed the customer attacked and injured the kennel owner after starting a fight. Again, I don't know who's who, but we do have some. Yeah, same for the dads. We do have some great pictures of the struggle. And here you go, clumps of hair being ripped out. That's why you never get into a fight with a woman. I'm the only one who can fight a woman, because they can't, unless they go for the beard. Oh no, can't do that. Women always rip hair out, don't they? But, you know, kennels, what would you expect? It's a kennel. I guess they expect it to be a bit more better class. I mean, this is what it looks like, you know. But yeah, there was a brawl at a kennel. All right. Can't people just get on? Good news, everybody, and I mean good news. Alex Jones. Let's look at this. Is his face when it was revealed that his lawyer sent the opponent lawyer all his text messages. This was his actual face. This is a meme, right? That face is gonna go into meme history. But yeah, he was in court because for many years, Alex Jones, if you're not familiar with the shock jock from InfoWars, who is absolutely many sandwiches short of a picnic, he's a few rungs short of a ladder. You can name it. You know, he's a cards short of a. There are many analogies you can draw. Accused the Sandy Hook massacre of being staged and fake, and the parents not being real parents and they're being actors and everything. Well, we all know it happened because we're not absolutely nuts, and of course Jones does this stuff. Whether he believes it or not is another thing, because I think he's a very clever guy who initiates these lies to make money, because he knows there are a load of vulnerable people out there who love to put the tinfoil hat on, you know, and go along with this stuff, and it makes him lots of money. Well, it's lost him lots of money because he's been ordered to pay $4.1 million to the parents of the Sandy Hook victims. Absolutely. And I think it should have been 41 million. I think 141 million for the absolute hell that those parents have been through. They've had death threats, they've had people, you know, harassing them, calling them liars, and they've lost children. They've actually lost children. And this guy's a complete nut job. But there you go. Good news, everybody. I'll show you the clip first. This is good. You're going to like this. If I can get it all in, let the clip play, and then I'll tell you what it is. Look at that. There's a car. Boom. It's like something from a video game. Watch this again. Did you see the missile strike? And go off, and then the other car loses control too. Well, what you're witnessing there, right, is 6 of Putin's commanders and 5 soldiers being blown up in a vehicle ambush. Yeah, and that's the same region where one of Russia's top female commanders, who bragged about enjoying killing Ukrainians, was also killed in a missile attack. That was in the Avdiivka region in the Donbass region. So I thought the doors were shaking in. And yeah, well done. Remember, need to kill more of them. But why have so many Russian tycoons died suspiciously since the war began? Comrade should have used stairs. Well, this was always going to happen, because I don't know if you realised that a lot of Russia's resources have been filtered out over the years, because, you know, Putin's nothing more than a KGB gangster, and a lot of these oligarchs have got dirty money on them, and I imagine that Putin wants his money back. And there's a little article here on the Daily Mail website, which is quite fascinating, talking about all the oligarchs and the tycoons have suddenly mysteriously either died or done murder-suicides, killed their families and killed themselves. More than a dozen have died in a series of illnesses and violent deaths. More than a dozen. Russian businessmen, officials, and people who are, you know, close to Putin himself. Fascinating. I'm not going to go through it all because there are loads of them. I said more than a dozen. But I wonder why. Do you know why? Because Putin asked for his money back and they went, "Nyeh." And he went, "You're going to regret that. You're going to regret that." But yeah, it's... oh boy, what a crazy, crazy world. Well, I'm going to talk about this now, because this... And I'm going to talk about my experience of this, and I shouldn't probably do it, because I'll probably have the police turn up, but there you go. Harley Watson was killed outside my children's school. What was that? This happened in 2019, December the 2nd. He was mown down by a known schizophrenic, Terence Glover, a very mentally ill man. I'm not absolving what he did. What he did was a heinous crime. He killed poor Harley and injured a number of other people as he mounted the pavement and run them over. Glover had threatened to do this many times. He was begging for help, for treatment from the police and the authorities, and they all turned their backs on him. He was deemed as a nuisance, and he threatened to do this many times. For years he was suffering paranoid delusions. He fell through the cracks in the system, which isn't there to support the mentally ill. And there was an independent Office of Police Conduct. You know, those same people who are investigating that 92-year-old who was murdered by the police. Here's a picture of poor Harley and his mum. Well, anyway, Joe Fricker has come out and said that the report absolving officers is an insult to Harley's memory. Absolutely, because guess what? They found themselves absolutely clear of any responsibility, even though they knew for years what Glover was threatening. They knew what Terence Glover was up to, and yeah, she spoke. She said she's had 2.5 years of hell, and that it's just the whole report mocks his memory, and it does, you know. She said, "My son should be 15 right now and enjoying his summer holidays with his friends. Instead, all we have is his belongings." I was there at the inquest. I heard the evidence and saw multiple failings. The IOPC report contradicts everything we heard. As far as I'm concerned, the police are in the firing line alongside Glover. She says his death is completely avoidable. Absolutely, and I stand with you. These police bastards are now. Let me tell you a story. The day the news broke, right? I saw an unmarked police car zoom in to another school, because there was reports of a car mounting the pavement there, but they kind of covered that up, right? Because they don't really want to know what's going on. This is real tinfoil hat business, and so I thought that was odd. So I picked up Herb from school, and Verity was at the other school at that point, at big school. And as we were heading back, you know, the ambulances were whizzing around, so I knew something was happening. And I went on to social media and I discovered what had happened. You know, so I retweeted this stuff on my social media saying, "Oh, watch out," you know, because you don't know if he was going to hit other schools. You know? I'm just retweeting what other people are saying. Yeah, be careful. There's a loon going around. We didn't know if it was a terrorist attack. We didn't know anything. So I just used my Twitter just to put out a hashtag out and be careful. Police come knocking at my door, don't they? I didn't answer, because they want to know. But as soon as I found out it was an active case, of course I deleted those tweets, because don't want to prejudice the case. I was just acting as a warning. But they were instead of looking for Terence Glover, investigating tweets. That's what they do. Not fit for purpose, the police force. And, you know, absolute awful case, and it should never have happened. And, you know, it's a constant reminder, because it is literally, it's right outside the school, you know, and of course our kids go there, and here is the floral tribute that was laid out there at the time. And yeah, police are useless. We know that. They're all perverts or bent or whatever. Useless. Here we go. This is an interesting story. You know, they want us to use lots of electric charged cars now. This is Joe Keating from Rochdale in Greater Manchester. He's got an electric vehicle. Of course he has. And he lives in a flat, and he had a charge point installed on the outside wall for his car. But he didn't get permission, and he's had to have it removed because that's what's going to happen. And now, because he needs to change his car, he's got to dangle an extension lead out of the window. Expect to see lots of this, especially in flats and shared accommodation. You know, you're going to have people fighting each other for access to charging points or tripping over extension leads as they dangle them from windows, because we don't have the infrastructure to support electric cars, and we won't do either. Wait a minute, it's some serious news. This is the story of Araba Banson from Battersea in southwest London, and she started I guess you'd call it a GoFundMe, and the art gallery curator, she's 24. She's doing it. She needs surgery. It's very sad. It is. It's a very sad story, because she needs to pay for a breast reduction. Yeah. No, sniggers. It's very sad. She's got size 34K breasts, which constantly knock things over. Again, if you're working in an art gallery, I imagine she's knocking over valuable artifacts and heirloom statues. Who knows? And yeah, she's trying to raise the money for a reduction. She's 5'7", and she says she didn't wear a bra until she was 19, and then they suddenly started to grow and they haven't stopped. Let's have another look. I mean, it's just a tragic case, isn't it? Really. I think we need to study these a bit further. I think we need to study. Let's study. Yeah. I think we need to zoom in a bit. What do you think, lads? Yeah, I think we do. I don't think there's. Have we studied it enough? Should we study it a bit more? Let's look at these, because 34K. Yeah, so they reckon she's got gigantomastia. That's a new word we've all learned, isn't it? Gigantomastia. And yeah, once she was temporarily stuck in a wheelchair over it, and she's worried that her mobility could be further compromised because it hurts her back. Of course, she should have started an OnlyFans, and she probably raised the money for her surgery, well, in a week, I'd imagine. Not even that, but yeah. Let's hope she doesn't make a boob. Oh, I went there. I'm sorry. Should we do the serious stories now then? Okay then. Let's go turn our eyes to the stars. This is Etienne Klein. He's a renowned philosopher and research director at the French Atomic Energy Commission, who posted this amazing picture. He said this is the from the James Webb Space Telescope of Proxima Centauri. Let's have a look at this amazing picture. Look at that. Look, wow. Proxima Centauri. And like I said, he's a research director at the French Atomic Energy Commission, and he posted this picture to Twitter. Except it wasn't a photo of Proxima Centauri. It was actually a slice of chorizo. He claims it was a joke, and here he is. Now he's got a kind of Lou Reed vibe going on. Yeah. Maybe physicists aren't allowed to have a sense of humour. I don't know. Or maybe he's just being a bit of a silly sausage. No? Okay. This is a very serious medical story. This is the story of Vicky Brown and Lucas Martin. They met during the COVID lockdown, and let's pull them up. They look like a happy couple. There they are. They look happy. Got a bit of cleavage on show. Something for the lads there. They look happy, but again, poor old Lucas, who's 39, has a bit of a problem. What's the problem? Apparently he has 100 erections a day. And this happens even when he's out in public. And they met in a Morrison supermarket. There are so many jokes. There are so many. Is that a chorizo in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Notice how I linked that with the previous. Notice how I linked that with the previous story. But apparently has 100 erections a day. Does he count them? It's called priapism, isn't it? Or is it a permanent erection? We need to know. We need to know the full deets. The full deets. But we're going there. We're going to do those. We're going to do. I've got these stories. Let's go to Indonesia, and we've got a story from the International Journal of Surgery Case Reports. I'm just going to show you the picture first, and I'm going to do a bit of a Rolf Harris. Can you tell me what it is yet? Do you want to know what that is? Of course. You know what's happened, don't you? You know what's happened. A 50-year-old Indonesian man is having a little bit of as your father with his missus. It was a bit vigorous, and then fractured his penis. Yes, we've got another a penis fracture. He felt his penis crack, causing him immediately to lose erection. Well, he would, and starting to bleed from his urethra. He was in extreme pain, unable to pass urine, and they reckoned again it looked like an eggplant. Now you know why we use that as an emoji, because the doctors repaired the damage, and he spent 5 days in hospital with a catheter, which is used to empty the bladder, and they left that there for 3 weeks, and everything returned back to normal. Basically, he'd ruptured his urethra along with the erectile tissue in his penis and the buccal fascia, the tissue, blood vessels and nerves around the penis. But 4 months after the ordeal, he's okay. The only thing is he's got a minor bend in his penis now. There you go. He's not so cocksure now, is he? Is he? But we're going there. This is another story. We're going another medical story. We're going to Mississippi. Yeah. This is from American Journal of Case Reports. Again, good bedside reading, this one. And this is a story of a lady who was rushed to the hospital. She felt a pop in her chest during sex. And the 45-year-old, she was having relations with her husband with her legs pressed against her chest, but then she felt a sudden popping sensation when she climaxed, and then she felt a stabbing pain near her heart. Yes, she caused a rupture in her aorta, a near fatal rupture. It was an intramural hematoma, and it can cause a full tear of the aorta if untreated, which kills up to 40% of sufferers instantly. But luckily, they got to the hospital and she was treated. But there you go, folks. There you go. It's not good. Just don't have sex. Just stop. Just stop having sex. Like I said, me and the missus, we only ever had sex twice, so, that's it. Yep, okay. If you believe that, you believe anything. Mind you, there are some people out there that believe anything and make up their own things too, isn't it? Oh boy. So I've got so many animal stories, but I'm going to end with we're going to do a sad story first. We're going to pay our homage to a TikTok star known as the Brazilian Hulk. This is Valdir Segato. And he was 55-year-old, and he gained 1.6 million followers. Because why? Why was he known as the Brazilian Hulk? Because he injected himself with he injected himself with oil to boost his physique. Yeah, he was using synthol injections, and yeah, he's dead now. I mean, this is what he used to look like before he hulked up. So let's just remember poor old Valdir, the Brazilian Hulk. Here he is, him flexing to his fans. And remember, folks, there is no cure for stupid. There is no cure for stupid. But you want some animal news now, don't you? Okay then, I've got animal news. I've got stories for you. This is Alan Todd. Alan Todd. You could say he's a lucky sod. It rhymes. Here he is, with a carrier pigeon. Yeah? And you're probably wondering, what's the story? What's the story, Darren? Well, he's a dedicated racing pigeon fan, and he's been reunited with one of his favourite birds. He had to fly himself 4,000 miles to Alabama to collect the bird because Bob the pigeon failed to return from a flight from Guernsey to Gateshead, which should have taken between 8 and 10 hours. But he was shocked when an animal shelter in Alabama informed him that Bob had been spotted thousands of miles from home. The well-travelled bird had landed in a garden in Mexia, Monroe County, Alabama, and the owner of the garden couldn't get rid of it. Obviously, Bob was thinking, "Oh God, my wings are hurt. I'm going to have a little rest." But the Monroe County Animal Shelter helped and retrieve Bob and checked his microchip, and here he is. Here he is with Bob the pigeon even. I feel like chicken tonight. It's because I'm thinking of the next story that I've got queued up. Because I'm going to give you 2 animal stories for the prices of 1. 2 for the prices of 1. And this, we're going to Australia, in Queensland, and it's a TikTok video. And I've got to cue it just right because it's one of those ones where it's all about the timing. And I'm just going to show you the clip. Right, here she is. She's with a koala at the side of the road. She's going, "Hello, koala," and suddenly it attacks. Yes, we have a koala attack, and she falls over. Have you ever seen a koala bear move so fast? I thought they were doped up on eucalyptus. The bear suddenly launched itself, and the marsupial moves in for the kill. On the TikTok video, people commented, "This is what happens when Americans come to Australia," because they can be a little bit aggressive. They can become aggressive sometimes. So there you go. That's been an interesting coffee time today. Finish off the week. We'll have a look, see if there's anyone in the live chat. I doubt it. No one's interested. Just for me and the missus. Let's have a butcher's hook. Naz is in. He says, "Hey mate." Andy Davis says, "Hi Darren, just tuned in. Nice to finally watch your live stream." Are you the real Andy Davison though, are you? Huh? Are you the real Andy? Well, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Because you were fake the other day. You were spoofed on the live stream because I've got a loon. I've got a loon. You appear to be the real Andy Davison. So that's good. Andrew says, "Hi Darren, coffee time." Yeah, it's coffee break. I used to respect the police, but not anymore. Not much better than criminals. Not a good idea knocking over Picassos, indeed. That's a salami slice. You identified it. Hello everyone, watching live at last. The physicists are a great laugh. The other fella should watch his Doesn't Snap too, 100 times a day. Well, I don't know if he acts on it. I think it's just he could get a job in Dunkin' Donuts, making holes in the donuts, couldn't he? Don't you think? Maybe not. Who needs Viagra, indeed? Mrs. Zippy didn't know he was married exactly. A rupture in the aorta means your heart don't work like it ought to. Pain's on fucking fire today. Absolutely on fire. Indeed. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was coffee time. It's been it's been all over the place, isn't it? Too many animal stories. I've got too many animal stories on the go. I've got loads of them in my folder. Andy says, "Why spoof me? Am I famous now?" I think it's just to have a go at me, you see, because they don't like me. Do go and check out their videos. that they cut out of context stuff and make me look bad. I ain't got a reputation, so it really doesn't matter. I know what they're trying to do, but you know, I couldn't. No fucks could be given. I went to the fuck shop; they were all out. You know, so do your worst, as I say. And I imagine, again, I imagine that they've made loads of videos, but yeah. So if you do see me popping up in your in your suggestions, go along and have a laugh, will you? Because it's all rather daft, isn't it? You know, I'm no one, but it's good to have someone who's that dedicated, you know. But no, it's what I have to deal with when I do these live streams. I try and have a bit of fun, and there's always someone to come along and piss on your chips, isn't it? You know. But anyway, thanks for watching. I've done enough damage for today. Slowly killing the channel one video at a time. And thank you, Andy. It's very nice of you to say. And we'll do this all again soon. Though I don't know, maybe I might do a music review. I don't know. I've kind of got the urge to maybe do a music thing. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. See how I feel. Anyway, have a good weekend. Yeah, that's it. That was the news. Drink it up. Ta-da. Oh, press the wrong button.